You don't really work anyway. It's just silly online stuff. My sister Amanda's voice cut through my home office as she stacked her real estate files on what used to be my desk. I stood in the doorway, still dusty from helping her parents move into their new condo, watching her erase every trace of me from the room. I'm Sarah Mitchell. I'm 34 and I just returned from a weekend of heavy lifting and family drama to find my carefully curated writing corner buried under her paperwork and motivational posters. Amanda, this is my office, I said quietly, trying to keep my voice steady. I work from here. She barely looked up. Oh please. Blogging isn't real work. I have actual clients, actual deadlines. Mom and Dad agree, I need this space more than you do. Of course they did. In my family's eyes, Amanda could do no wrong. The successful real estate agent, the one with the fancy car and designer clothes. Me. I was the quiet one who played around online. What they didn't know was that my silly online stuff had drawn over 200,000 readers, paid my bills, and even allowed me to buy this house 3 years ago. You can work anywhere, Amanda continued, hanging her awards on my wall. Use the kitchen table or something. I need a professional space for clients. She shoved my writing references into a box, replacing my favorite quotes with her certificates. My sanctuary was vanishing before my eyes. Did it occur to you to ask me first? I picked up my vintage typewriter before she could claim that too. Mom said you wouldn't mind. You never mind, Sarah. That's your thing. Always accommodating, always nice, she said, gesturing around the room. And this location is perfect for my business. Right in the heart of the best-selling district. I clutched my typewriter tighter. And my business? Amanda laughed, that dismissive laugh I'd heard my whole life. What business? Writing little stories online isn't a business. I'm doing you a favor. Maybe this will push you to get a real job. I thought of the publishing contract sitting in my inbox, the one I hadn't told anyone about, from a major house interested in turning my online series into a book. And the speaking engagement next month, the writing workshop I was supposed to host right here. But as I watched Amanda rearrange my space like she owned it, I realized. My family had always seen what they wanted to see. I would always be the agreeable one, the one whose work didn't matter. You know what? I said calmly. Keep it. Amanda froze. Really? Really, I said. I can work from anywhere. I grabbed my laptop bag and typewriter. The office is yours. He hesitated, flustered. I'll need the keys too for client meetings. I handed her the office key with a smile. Just remember to lock up when you leave. As I walked out, I overheard her on the phone with Mom. She just gave it to me. She doesn't really need an office. What they didn't know, what no one knew, was that I stopped needing their approval a long time ago. At my favorite coffee shop, I opened my laptop. The publishing contract was waiting for my signature, alongside a listing I'd been eyeing. Amanda could have the office. I had bigger plans. Over the next few weeks, I watched from the kitchen table as Amanda turned my office into a mini corporate showroom, complete with a giant LED sign. Your sister's really making something of that room, Mom said during family dinner. She's closed 3 big deals there already. Isn't it nice to see the space being used? I nodded. Beside me, Amanda beamed. I'm thinking of expanding, maybe that spare bedroom upstairs for a conference room. I nearly choked. That's my bedroom. Move to the guest room, she said dismissively. It makes more sense for my business. Dad, tell her it makes sense. Before Dad could answer, I stood. Actually, I have some news. Did you finally get a real job? Amanda smirked. I slid my tablet across the table. On the screen, Publishers Weekly announcing my 6-figure book deal. Silence. Mom's fork clattered, Dad's mouth hung open. Amanda's face turned red. This has to be a mistake. You just write online stories. I smiled. I've been writing professionally for 5 years. That silly online stuff paid my mortgage, funded my retirement, and just helped me buy the Maxwell building downtown. Amanda froze. The very property she'd been coveting. I'm converting the top floor into a writer's retreat and workshop. Renovations start next week. Dad finally spoke, stammering. I stood. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a meeting with my contractor. I drove to the Maxwell building, my building, grinning. Maya, my contractor, waited outside. Ready to make some magic? More than ready, I said, imagining the transformation. floor-to-ceiling windows, restored hardwood floors, sunlight streaming over a city skyline that would inspire everyone who entered. My family might have thought Amanda had won. But I was just getting started. I ignored them all. For once, I wasn't going to explain or justify myself. Amanda had taken my office, thinking she was putting me in my place. Instead, she had pushed me to create something far beyond what I'd imagined. The writer's retreat would be more than a workspace. It would be a haven for writers, a place where creativity was celebrated, not dismissed. By the way, Maya said as we finished our walkthrough, that real estate agent who's been calling about the building? She called again today. Says she has a very interested buyer. I smiled. Tell Amanda the building's not for sale. Not now, not ever. Maya grinned. Will do, boss. Standing at the windows, I watched the sunset paint the sky in brilliant oranges and pinks. A sense of peace settled over me. Sometimes the best response to being underestimated isn't to fight. It's to rise above, to build something so magnificent that those who doubted you can't help but look up in awe. My phone buzzed. Another message from Amanda. We need to talk about the Maxwell building. I have clients interested. I typed back. Sorry, the silly online writer is busy creating something real. Then I turned back to my plans, ready to transform the space into everything I had dreamed of, and everything my family never thought I could achieve. 3 months later, the writer's retreat was complete. I watched the sunrise stream through floor-to-ceiling windows, illuminating the open floor plan filled with cozy writing nooks, a coffee bar with local brews and quiet meeting rooms for workshops. My vintage typewriter, the one Amanda nearly tossed, sat proudly in the entrance, surrounded by copies of my newly published book. The irony wasn't lost on me. That typewriter, once nearly discarded, had become a symbol of success she couldn't ignore. The grand opening was today. Despite my attempts at keeping it quiet, local media had arrived to cover the story of how a simple blogger had built one of the city's most innovative creative spaces. Ms. Mitchell, my assistant Kate whispered, your family's here. I turned to see Mom, Dad, and Amanda standing awkwardly in the entrance. Amanda's face was a mixture of shock and envy as she took in the space she had tried and failed to claim for herself. Sarah, Mom started, clutching her purse. This is incredible. Really? Dad added, looking around in awe. Why didn't you tell us you were capable of all this? I tried, I said simply. For years I tried to show you that my writing was more than just silly online stuff. You chose not to see it. Amanda stepped forward, heels clicking. Look at this office. Maybe I was hasty. Keep it. Keep it, I said firmly. Consider it a reminder of what you thought I was capable of. This, I gestured around the retreat, is what I actually achieved. Before anyone could respond, Kate appeared. The reporter from the City Times is here for your interview. My family's eyes widened. Amanda looked like she'd swallowed something sour. She had been trying to get featured in the City Times for years. I should go, I said. Feel free to look around. The coffee bar is open and there's a copy of my book for each of you. Yes, the one that just hit the bestseller list. Later, as writers filled the space, Amanda approached, fidgeting with her bracelet. I've been thinking, maybe we could collaborate. My platform and your space, combined. I cut her off gently. Amanda, this space isn't about real estate or deals. It's about creating something meaningful, something you once called silly and worthless. But the office you took? Keep it. Every time you walk in there, remember how you treated my dreams, then look at this building and remember what those dreams became. She left shortly after, our parents trailing behind her. For the first time I saw respect in their eyes. Not that it mattered anymore. I'd stopped seeking their approval the day Amanda took over my office. As the sun set on opening day, I sat in my favorite corner, laptop open, working on my next book. Writers tapped away around me, sipped coffee, and created their own worlds. This was what I'd built. Not just a space for myself but a haven for anyone who dared to dream big. My phone buzzed with a text from Amanda. I'm sorry. Your success. It's incredible. I should have seen it sooner. I smiled, typing back. Sometimes the smallest office can lead to the biggest dreams. Thanks for pushing me out of mine. Then I turned back to my writing, watching the city lights twinkle through the windows of my creative sanctuary. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about soaring so high that those who doubted you have to crane their necks just to see how far you've flown. Amanda kept my old office. I found something better. My own voice, my own space, and the satisfaction of proving that silly online stuff could build something truly remarkable.